loves, what's up? What's going on? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be the December 2020 month ahead predictions for you guys. So excited for today's video. I love these monthly predictions, and do not worry because we have the yearly 2021 coming out very soon. So keep an eye out for that. So excited to get into this video. So without further ado, if you guys are new to pick a card readings and you want a quick little rundown of how they work, over here we have pile number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you can take a moment, pause the video if you'd like to find the pile that you are the most drawn towards. Then once you're done choosing your pile, you can go ahead and scroll down to the comment box or the description box to find the timestamp that's linked to your specific card. And then you can skip ahead and watch your personal reading all about your month ahead prediction for the month of December of 2020. So with that being said, if you guys like to choose with crystals below the cards, I'll be adding some crystals on there anyway, although we do have crystals on these cards today, which is like super fun and exciting. But if you guys want a quick little disclaimer, I know some of you guys watch these readings and maybe you get something that you don't really like to hear or it doesn't really resonate with you. Don't worry, because you are not fated by this. This is not your destiny. This is just a reading upon the current energies that you are in, where you're currently headed and what you're currently manifesting. But baby, you have free will and you can change anything at any time. So with that being said, let's add some crystals below these cards for you guys. All right, my love, so if you guys like to choose with crystals below the cards, of course, underneath citrine, I had to put a citrine crystal over here. Then we have some Lemurian amethyst, and then we have some regular amethyst. Actually, this one is also a Lemurian amethyst. We have two different Lemurian amethysts over here. Then we have an agate slice, and then we also have a Lemurian quartz. Apparently, we got a lot of Lemurian energies in today's reading. So without further ado, if you guys want to pause the video if you'd like, find the pile that you're the most drawn towards, and then of course scroll down to the comment box or the description box to find that timestamp that's linked to your specific card. And then you can skip ahead and watch your personal reading for December. So without further ado, let's hop right into this reading for you guys, starting now. All right, so group number 1, if you guys chose this pile, this is going to be your reading for December. So let's get started. All right, so starting off with citrine as our crystal that you guys chose. So in this card, it's very interesting that you guys chose this because citrine rules the solar plexus chakra. This is our creativity. This is our expression. It also rules the stomach, so things that we're consuming, things that we're digesting. So watch out for what you guys are going to be eating and consuming in December. I think that you guys are going to focus a little bit more on diet, and consumption doesn't always deal with just food. This also deals with what we're watching on the news, the media that we're listening to, things like that. So I really think that you guys are going to become kind of aware of what you've been feeding yourself in terms of like social media, in terms of actual food, in terms of things like that. So I really think that you guys are going to become more aware of those things in December, and you guys are going to be more hyper aware of, again, what you're putting into your body, what you're consuming in your mind, what kind of information that you're taking in, and you're also going to be boosting your creativity, because once we're feeding ourselves the right ingredients, that is when we begin to shine, right? So what you guys need to look out for is maybe adding in a little bit more yellow into your diet. So eating a little bit more lemons, things like that, maybe bananas, whatever it is, to kind of like up your levels of this sort of yellow sort of energy, because the yellow energy really resonates with that solar plexus chakra and allows us to actually be aware of what we're consuming. It helps us digest what we have previously consumed so that we can open up that chakra and express our creativity, because our creativity is a result of what we put into ourselves, right? Our energy levels are a result of what we put into our bodies, what we're consuming in our minds and everything. Your mental health, whatever you're consuming in your mind, that is going to reflect in your mental health, and that's going to dictate a bit of that mental capacity, your energetic capacity, your physical capacity, right? So making a focus towards those things in the month of December is going to be quite important for you guys, especially if you are drawn to this citrine crystal. So with that being said, let's add some tarot cards onto this pile. All right, so group number 1, we have Justice being reversed, we have the Tower, we have Hierophant being reversed, then we have this Knight of Cups, and we have the Four of Cups being reversed. So I see this actually going a lot better by the end of December, but we are kind of going through some stuff at the beginning of December. So let's talk about what this is, and remember that anything is changeable. We are not bound by this. This is not our destiny. This is just our current energy that we're headed into, okay? So allow this to be something that kind of guides you and allows you to kind of see what we're doing over here. So when we start off with the Justice being reversed, there is a situation that's that's kind of throwing us off balance a little bit in the beginning of December. So this could again be something that we're consuming. This could be like media that we're consuming, bad thoughts that are always coming in, or even just maybe we're binging on junk food a little bit in the beginning, but there's somehow this disharmony, this imbalance, and we need to change it because somehow we're building something on an unstable foundation. Somehow maybe we're needing to clear the air on something. Maybe we're going through a bit of an imbalance in one of our relationships. Maybe we're going through an imbalance within ourselves. I really feel intuitively like this is more of a personal imbalance. And so this is coming from within. This is something that we're maybe worried about. This is maybe a career situation that we're personally worried about. Maybe this is a relationship situation that we're personally worried about, or we're just struggling with our own personal habits. I feel like this is more habitual than anything, but it is a general reading, so this can play out in multiple different ways. But intuitively, I'm kind of really feeling that this is an internal personal situation, maybe the way that you feel internally about yourself, maybe the habits that you keep repeating that kind of bring you back to that same reality. And although we're taking in new information, we're not really utilizing it, okay? So that's what I'm seeing in that Hierophant over here. So first off, just to start us off, there's some sort of like thing that we're just not really, we keep feeding ourselves the same old habits that aren't really taking us to where we want to go. And that's in the beginning of December. So maybe this is even resonating for you right now, right? And so the energy of us like moving forward from this moment that you're watching this is maybe this sort of energy that we're kind of trying to figure out how to rebalance ourselves. We're figuring out how to create like a steady foundation so that we're not always creating the same old patterns and the same old routines. So we're kind of like realizing that we need to kind of shift some things up. And I see that this is happening with this tower, and a lot of people look at the tower card and they're like, oh my God, look at that. This is such a crazy looking card. But this is actually when we get this energetic strike and we realize that we can't continue doing the same thing over and over again because we're just getting the same results from it, right? And so this is the moment where that energy comes in, right? And just zaps our current state of being. So this is the big realization where we're like, wait a minute, I gotta like get myself out of this current pattern that I have myself in, right? We're destroying old patterns, we're destroying old habits, and we're kind of realizing that maybe something that we once believed isn't quite working out for us anymore, and maybe we need to open up to new ideas and new realities and new things like that. So we're finally kind of realizing this. And I do see that someone's going to come into your life over here with this Knight of Cups. I think first off, you're going to change something major about yourself. You're getting new inspirations that you're going to put into play. But I also think that there's going to be something or someone that you guys get inspired by, that you're like, okay, let's take this new opportunity. Let's see where this goes. So this could be somebody actually coming into your life like a spiritual teacher. This could be a friend that really inspires you and just uplifts you, makes you feel really good. This can be something new that you find that you can bring your focus on. Somehow we're going in a better direction. We're realizing that there's like this opportunity ahead of us. We can finally like, once this river might have looked like an obstacle and he was like, oh, I can't get past this river. But then he realizes that there's a horse next to him and the horse is like, yeah, I'll take you across the river. That's fine. And then you're like, oh, that was there all along. I just didn't realize it. I just didn't look beside me because, when you're looking ahead and you're looking straight at the problem, all you're going to see is more of the problem, right? But if you turn your head to the side, you might realize there's a noble steed right beside you that's like, I can literally just take you across the river. And you're like, oh my God, that was there the whole time. I could have done this the whole time. So there is possibility, but you need to look for possibility rather than keep staring at the problem in order to find the way around it, in order to find our way through this barrier that's kept us kind of stuck, that's kept us feeling like we couldn't move forward. And that's exactly what the Four of Cups being reversed talks about, because the Four of Cups being reversed is such a good card being reversed, because when it's upright, again, he's staring at the problem and not realizing there's a solution right next to him, right? But when we turn this card upside down, he finally looks at this solution and he's like, oh, okay, I see. We can actually kind of create a fix for this sort of issue that we have kind of going on over here, right? And so I do see that, you know, we're getting possibly a new person coming into our lives, or just this kind of new inspiration that's going to guide us into this new direction. The fact that we have a lot of these cup cards. Cups also talk about our stomach. Again, it's talking about the things that we're digesting. We need to flush our bodies by drinking more water to help us get into that new state, to help us realize and become aware that, you know, we need to start consuming good things, right? So those cards also talk about our consumption. So pay attention to your consumption this month. It's going to be quite important. And this is kind of crazy because our next card is literally the card of Cancer. I just saw it as I was going to pull our next couple cards. And this Cancer card, Cancer rules the stomach again. Again, we're talking about things that we are consuming that are influencing our emotional state. Okay? So, I do also see that we're possibly changing up our home a little bit as well. We're possibly redecorating, doing things like that. I mean, a lot of people like to decorate in December anyway, but I kind of see this like we're adding in some better energy in the month of December. We are wanting to make our home feel more comfortable. And so I think that you guys are going to find ways to make your home feel more comfortable in the month of December. And we're wanting to better our emotional state by doing that. So we do have this Cancer card coming up. And then we also have the card here of Ceres. Ooh, this is interesting. So Ceres is the asteroid that kind of rules children, the mother instincts, things like that. So this could be talking specifically about maybe we're going to have to nurture ourselves a lot more. This card is about nurturing. So maybe we're going to have to realize that we need to do a lot more self-care. But this can also be talking about issues coming up with our mother, or issues that we've gotten from our mother that we're kind of like realizing we've picked up on the same maybe patterns and habits and routines that we're kind of needing to deal with, and we need to re-nurture ourselves in order to kind of get rid of these habits that we might have and things like that. So I do think that the month of December is going to be this nurturing month for you guys, where you guys are like, okay, I need to kind of, you know, fix all of this up, and I need to watch what I'm consuming and start to consume things that make you feel inspired, right? Because instead of drinking a cup that holds the problem in it, and instead of keeping on drinking from the old patterns, we need to start drinking from the cup that makes us feel like how we want to feel. So maybe choosing to drink a smoothie in the morning instead of having bacon is probably a better idea. So we need to focus on what we're consuming. We need to nurture ourselves. So I really think December is going to be the month of really getting yourself back on track with your diet, with what you're consuming on social media, things like that. I think you're going to become quite aware of those things in the month of December. And then we do also have the North Node over here, so destiny and challenges. So we are overcoming challenges in December. Our challenges that we once faced in 2020, all those challenges that we needed to overcome, and maybe we're looking at the dark side of things rather than the bright side of things. We're coming to terms with that, and we're realizing that we need to go in that new direction. We need to change up our destinies, and only we can do that. Stop consuming the negativity that's on the media. Start consuming what you want to consume, because honestly, consuming negativity on the media is so similar to literally consuming like chocolate for dinner. It's just not, it's not good. I mean, how often does the media ever talk about positive change and only focuses on negative change? Like, the media tends to only focus on negativity and not positivity, where there's equal amounts, in my beliefs, there's equal amounts of both, and whatever you choose to focus on is where you place your energy, right? So if you're placing your energy constantly on the media, and the media is always talking about like, oh my God, we're going through this, we're going through that, and oh my God. Look at the positives, and that's where we're going to be placing our energy, and that's where we're going to be focused, and that's where we're going to be going, right? So the North Node is where we're going, where we're heading. And so if we want to head in a new direction, we need to place our energy in a new direction, and we need to focus on what we are putting into us. Okay, so our next three cards that we have over here, we have the Lake Stillness. So this is taking a moment to take a step back and look at like what's happening, what's going on, focusing on our emotions, because we have a lot of water coming up over here, because Cancer is a water sign. We have cup cards, and you know, those are the only suit cards that we have are cups, which is water again. So we're focusing a lot on our emotional well-being in the month of December, and we're really trying to get ourselves in order. We want to be more calm. We want to be more comfortable. We want to be able to nurture ourselves a little bit better, right? So the lake coming up, I think, is more talking about, again, what we're consuming. Oh my God, and then we have tsunami, which is another water card. Okay, so we're taking the tsunami energy and we're trying to find our stillness. But this is also our big wake-up call. I think in December, you're kind of gonna reach this point of like, we've gone down this road enough, and it's finally time for us to maybe have this like spiritual awakening, maybe have a little bit more of an awakening of what we've been normally consuming and the things that we've been normally doing. And this is awakening up that, look at that moon just shining through this water, right? The moon is ruled by the sign of Cancer, and we have that coming up as well. So this is talking about, again, that emotional well-being. I think you're gonna be flooded with emotions. It's gonna cause you to actually have this big breakthrough where you're like, oh, I need to change up a little bit. And then look at, oh my God, and she's emerging from the water, of course. Look at that, she's literally emerging from water. So instead of drowning ourselves, let's emerge out of the water, okay? So December's emerging out of the water. We're coming out of it, and we're like, no, I'm gonna start focusing on me. I'm gonna start focusing on the things that I want and need. And there's clearly this like problem that we have where we're kind of like, we really need to find a solution for it. And I think that you guys will be finding solutions for that in December. You're kind of going to be realizing that there is other options. Whereas before, you kind of felt like, oh, there's no other option. I don't know how to get through this. This is it. It's making me sad. It's making me feel stuck. Like this is that feeling of like feeling so stuck. We're feeling stuck. We're feeling still. But then we're realizing, oh, I'm gonna have this wake-up call. I'm gonna create this tsunami of movement, and I'm gonna start moving myself into the destiny that I want by focusing and consuming the things that I desire to consume. Because again, when we're looking at media and we're looking at negativity and things like that, that's what we're putting into our energetic field. So you're literally taking like chocolate and chips and cookies and putting that into your energetic field and hoping that you're gonna have a good outcome and that you're gonna feel energetic and feel healthy. That's not gonna happen. So we need to start feeding ourselves good shish. Good shish, guys. Oh my gosh. Anyway, our next two cards, we have a powerful move. Woo! And then we have wish upon a star. So we're making powerful moves, guys. This wake-up call, we're beginning to move beyond this river that once made us feel stuck. And we're realizing that we need to get past it. We're going to get past it. And then we also have wish upon a star. We're putting out our new intentions. We're putting out new wishes. I think that you guys are really going to start focusing on a new future for yourselves and thinking about how can I go about creating that and what do I need to do that? Because we're going to start focusing on that, my baby. Like, look at her. She's totally like making this whole new wish. And it's almost like this new beginning as well, because you can see that this person is like very young, right? Like they're like toddler age. And so this is us coming back to the roots, coming back to the beginning and realizing that we need a fresh start and a new beginning. And I think that that's what you guys are going to be focusing on creating, is like a new beginning and making these powerful moves in order to do so. Like realizing that you're this chess piece and we can unlock, right? This key, we can unlock this new future and this new destiny as long as we get into harmony and balance, because this 1 and 5 equals a 6, which is the key to this, is getting into harmony and balance internally to feel that externally, because that's how manifestation works, right? So this 1 and 5, this is us new beginning and taking on and accepting big change, taking risks, stepping into the unknown, because in the unknown, that's where we enter the quantum field, my baby. Like if you haven't yet, go watch Rewired on Gaia by Dr. Joe Dispenza, because like, whoo, that will definitely tell you on like how to manifest and things like that. Is so good. I've been like rewatching it lately and it's phenomenal. Like watching it a second time is just as good as watching it a first time. So anyway, I'm gonna shuffle this deck right here. We're gonna get some more information from this deck. Let's get at least one card from this one. This is like an animal spirit kind of deck. So let's see what comes up for you guys. And we have a fallout immediately. We have the Hare. So this is all about strength. Take time to make clear decisions, bring awareness and light to the situation. So it's time to make clear decisions. Do you want to be stuck in the same thing, in the same situation, or do you want to step into the unknown? Because guess what? Sometimes when we try to predict our future from the state of being that we've always been in, we only see what we've previously experienced. But guess what? There is so much potential in life, so much potential that we're unaware of. But if we only narrow our view down to like, oh, well, I've only seen this sort of, you know, pattern in the past. Therefore, my future, if I make this decision, it's only going to equal this. You're only speaking from your previous experience, but guess what? There's miracles that happen every day. There's crazy, beautiful things that happen every single day. And guess what? You are deserving of that, and you can create that if you step into the unknown, right? And you have the strength to take that courage and make those shifts and make those changes. You can actually create something completely different than what you've previously known or what you've previously experienced. It doesn't have to be a repeat. It doesn't have to be in this limited realm of possibility. I think you guys are limiting your future. And December is the realization that we don't have to limit anymore. We don't have to limit the future by saying like, oh, if I like switch my job, it means that I'm going to be going through like a year of like not really making money. It means that I'm going to have to go through this. That's not the case. That's not the case. That is just a belief that you have. That isn't reality. That is not reality. That is a belief. And we create our reality by the beliefs that we have. So this is about changing up those beliefs in order to get a new reality. So I'm going to shuffle these cards right here. We're going to try to get 2 out of this deck to end us off for your guys' December prediction. And then we're going to go through this again to kind of see a little bit more information happening over here. So let's see what we get for you guys. We have literally 2 cards coming out. That is perfect. Amazing. I'm here for it. Look at those synchronicities. Okay. Obstacles are detours in the right direction. Oh, you guys needed to hear that. Let me tell you, wow, how does that fit in? Obstacles are detours in the right direction. Don't be scared to take a detour because it's leading you where you want to go. If you don't want to continue the same present moment, change it. Take those reins and change it. Let's step into the unknown. And don't just think small for yourself. Expect the unexpected. Expect miracles because your expectation equals your belief and that creates your potential. You decide your potential, not anything else. Then we have, I'm a spirit having a human experience and I'm here to get closer to love. Guys, make decisions based on how and what brings you closer to love, because if you're living out of a cardboard box but you feel so dang fulfilled and you feel amazing, not saying that you should go live out of a cardboard box, but if, like, just for an example, if you guys are living in a cardboard box but you feel so dang fulfilled on every single level and every single cell in your being just feels love and bliss and joy, does living in a box matter anymore? Or would you rather live in a big mansion but feel so empty and not feel love and hate your job and hate this and hate that? What would you rather? So make decisions that bring you closer to love. I'm not saying that go live in a cardboard box because it's pretty difficult to feel love in that situation, but whatever it is that brings you closer to happiness, chase your happiness. Don't do what's practically or societally correct. Do things that bring you closer to what love means to you and what happiness means to you, because there's so much more fulfillment in that. And I think that's going to be one of the biggest realizations in December for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. If you did, don't forget to give it a really big thumbs up for me. Hit that subscribe button down below if you have not already. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! All right, pile number 2, my lapis lazuli. Let's get into it. Let's find out your guys' December monthly prediction. Let's hop right into it. All right, so pile number 2, if you guys chose this lapis lazuli crystal right here, let's just talk about a little bit of the meanings of lapis lazuli, because this is all about connecting to our higher consciousness. This is also very connected to ancient Egypt, so I don't know if you guys have ever had connections to Egyptian sort of energy, but lapis lazuli is it reminds me of Egyptian energy. Like even Cleopatra used to crush lapis lazuli to make blue eyeshadow. So it just reminds me so much of this just like Egyptian energy, and Egyptian energy reminds me of this spiritual activation. They used to talk a lot about like all of their like murals and carvings, their ancient carvings in the temples were all about the activation. There's so many symbols of like activating the pineal gland, which is the third eye, which is like our seat of consciousness, right? So this is getting the spiritual up-leveling, remembering that through a calm mind, through calming the chaos and ignoring the chaos around us, is when we get our true inspiration, when we get true downloads, divine messages from the universe, where we get answers from. So if you guys have been confused, seeking out answers or anything like that, answers come when we come from a calm space. So this is about calming your energy to get the answers that you have been seeking, my love. So that is what lapis lazuli is all about. So let's hop right into the tarot portion of this, and let's just pop on your guys' tarot cards now. Okay, so first off, we have the Eight of Cups, and what this card talks about is us kind of wondering, we're at a crossroads. And so it's so funny, I was mentioning in the lapis lazuli energy that this is kind of like this question. We're worried about something, we're questioning something, maybe we're at a crossroads, because this card right here talks about being at this crossroads, right? We're wondering, do I stay, do I go, do I continue, do I try something new, what do I do here? And we're kind of like stuck again at that crossroads, and we're wondering what we do. So I think in the beginning of December, we're kind of starting December off with this energy of like, okay, I have to make a decision, and I'm really unsure about what decision is the right decision. And then the next card that we have is Judgment over here. So this is about letting go of the past, letting go of the old, you know, kind of shedding the old skin, realizing that we need to see the situation for what it really is, right? Because Judgment is when we kind of strip away all of the other ish of the situation. Let's look down at the meaty, nitty gritty of the situation. So I really think that you guys are going to be going deep into something that you guys are trying to figure out, right? And we're looking for guidance, right? We're looking for guidance when we have this angel above us, and this angel is giving us guidance. It's literally speaking to us. And so I really think that you guys are going to be seeing a lot of signs in the month of December to help you with this situation that you might be back and forth about. You might be unsure because you're like, okay, I don't really know which way is correct at this point, because maybe we've had a lot of back and forth with this situation. Maybe there's like, you know, maybe there's pros and cons about each direction. And so we're really like confused about which one's going to bring us the best opportunity, which one's going to bring us where we actually want to be and the results that we actually desire. And Judgment is about shedding. This is about letting go. So let's strip this down. Let's see the meat of it. When we strip it down, what is your heart really telling you? What does your heart really call to you? What is something that you think internally you desire more? So if somebody told you, okay, this is the outcome that we're choosing, would you be disappointed or would you be excited about it? Because there lies your answer when we strip it down to the bare bones of it, right? Are we going to be happy long term? Does it sound good on paper, but maybe it's not so good in real life? Does it feel good sometimes, but not on other times? Does it sound practical, but maybe not something that we actually desire, right? These are the questions that I think you guys are going to be entering the month of December with, but I really think that we're getting down to the meat of it. And I think that you're going to notice a lot of synchronicities, maybe deja vu, that's kind of leading you to this area that we're kind of unsure about. This is why we have the moon out, right? The sun isn't out in the Eight of Cups card because the sun is illumination. Things are clear when the sun is out, but when the moon is out, sometimes things can be hidden from us. Sometimes we're not seeing the big picture, but that's why we get this Judgment card, because we're really starting to focus and break down what it is that we are thinking about, the big decision that we have, right? Then the next card that we have is the Four of Swords being reversed. So this can represent that we're kind of either being so busy that we really need to rest. We're like trying to do everything at once. We're trying to get our answer as soon as possible, and we're doing everything that we can to try to get to that answer, but it ends up kind of exhausting us. And what this is telling you is that your answer doesn't lie within the action. Your answer lies within rest and retreat. And so I think in the month of December, it's going to be very important for you guys to rest, retreat, come back in, withdraw from a little bit from that situation. Instead of putting yourself deeper into the situation and try to figure it out, instead of stepping into the water to try to figure out whether you like it or not, try stepping out of the water for a little bit and take a little bit of a back seat and just observe the water. Observe yourself. Ask yourself deeper questions while you're outside of the water, because sometimes when we're immersed into a situation, it can be so confusing to see the right direction, right? And so taking a little bit of time for yourself, meditating, taking that time out to really see the situation for what it is so helpful. And I think that this is kind of the beginning of December for you guys, because this represents the beginning. This resembles kind of like the energy that is most prominent in the month of December, the kind of like the solution almost, this turning point in December for us is going to be this Four of Swords being reversed. And so this is talking about, don't try to do it all at once. Don't try to busy yourself up. Don't try to rush the situation. Take a step back, take a seat back. Instead of fully going into it, instead of diving into it to try to find the answer, come out of it. And that's where the answer is going to be. Then we also have the Four of Wands being reversed. And it's interesting that we have so much four energy over here, right? Because we have the Four of Swords, the Four of Wands. This is all about your foundation. This is talking about your home life, things like that. And so maybe it kind of feels like we're a little bit unstable in the month of December. It kind of feels like we're, going through this retreat and we're kind of needing to like change up a lot of things. We feel like we need to do this big overhaul. We're trying to do this overhaul. But the Four of Wands also kind of suggests that we're going through this level of achievement as well. So I think that when you find this answer, I think that you're going to really resonate with this answer, but it's going to be also a little bit of a hard answer, and it might be hard to even like tell people that you're around. And so what I'm kind of sensing from this is that through this rest and relaxation that you're having in December, I really think that you're going to find this answer. But I think that there's going to be this reluctance in speaking the answer because you feel it within, but you might be worried that it might disappoint people that are around you. It might upset some certain people because maybe other people have this certain dream or desire for you, but you don't really have that. And you're noticing that, maybe you feel so called to, please them, but at the same time, you know that that's not the path for you. You know that there's a different sort of path here. And I think that, yes, you're coming across this realization, but you might be worried about how it might shift your home life. Maybe you're also realizing that it's going to shift your home life so much that maybe we're going to need to change up our home life a lot. Maybe we're going to need to change up so many different things, and we're worried about how certain people in our life will react to that because maybe they want different things for us. And then we do also have the Ten of Wands over here. So this indicates that we're, taking on a big task. We're taking on this new energy, and we know that we're taking on a lot. Maybe there's certain things that you want to change up in your life, certain directions that you want to go, and you know that maybe we don't really have support from a lot of people in this because maybe this is something totally new. This is a new direction that we're going in, and maybe other people are looking at us like, I don't want to help you in that. I know nothing about it. So you can just, if you really want to do that, you're on your own. You're on your own on that. And you're kind of feeling like, okay, it's going to be a bit heavy at first. We're taking on these new responsibilities. We're taking on this new life. And yep, it's going to feel like a lot at first. But guess what? The reward of it is so worth it to you that I think that you're going to be like, it's totally fine. The aftermath, this is the direction I want to go. Yes, it's hard, but I want to do it. And I also kind of see this as this is showing reluctance, right? Because he's kind of walking back home right now and he's kind of covering his face. So this kind of shows to me that we might not be ready to express our truth to the people that are around us. And so the month of December, you might be feeling like somehow there's this truth that you've recently come across, but we might feel kind of worried about expressing it to the people that are around us. So let's add on some more cards to this reading and find out a little bit more information. So we have Leo over here. All right, so Leo, this is all about being in the spotlight. Where do we want to go? So this is about us asking us, what does my soul want? Rather than what everyone else wants for me, let's go into myself for a little bit. Let's focus on me, right? Because Leos, they have no problem focusing on themselves, okay? So this is all about focusing on you. What do you want? What does you want? Instead of people pleasing, because Leo is so good at not people pleasing, okay? If we go down to just the zodiac sign without any of the other aspects and planets and stuff, just Leo's good at pleasing Leo. Leo knows what they want. Okay, so this is us focusing on what do I want? And that's going to be a huge focus in December. And also realizing that we need to be able to express that, realizing that we need to own that truth. So that's going to be a big one for you guys. Then we also have Vesta. So this is about the card literally says devotion on it. So I'm just going to use the word devotion because that's the best way to describe Vesta. It's like our devotion to it. How much time do we give this? How much energy do we give this? And I think that you're going to be so excited to give all of your energy to something new. And that's going to be something that I think you guys are going to be really excited about. And that's why we're also having this Ten of Wands where we're carrying so much, is because again, we're taking it all on. We're taking it on ourselves, and maybe we don't have a lot of help. So we're doing it all. We're doing it all ourselves, and it may be a little bit of a solo journey, but we are so ready for it. We so want it. And then it's so funny. Our next card that we have is Lilith, which is repressed desires. This is where we get our rebel side coming out. So you might feel like a little bit of a rebel in December because maybe you're making decisions that nobody else, people aren't really on the same page as you, but it's fine because you're on the same page as you. You're doing what you desire. You're doing what you want, right? And so I think you're going to feel like a little bit of a rebel in December because we're making decisions and doing things that we didn't normally think that we'd be doing. We didn't think we'd be here, and other people definitely didn't predict that we'd be here either. So we're kind of like letting our repressed desires come out. We're kind of, making our own path for ourselves now. We're stripping ourselves of what we thought that we needed to do, and we're going into what we actually want to do. The next card we have is Wind of Activation. So we are finally going with the flow of the wind. And the wind, it comes and it pushes and it doesn't care what nobody says. The wind is there and it is there, and it will move past obstacles. It will move past everything. So I really think that you guys are being activated at this time. I think that you guys are going to really start to move forward in the month of December towards the things that you really desire and the things that you really want. When it comes to speaking your truth, I really think that there's going to be a lot of the universe pushing you to finally say it, to finally speak up about this new direction instead of hiding. So I think that's going to be another big thing that's coming up in December for you guys. Then we also have the Mountain of Strength over here. So this is us realizing and gaining a lot more confidence, because this is a time where we need to bring out our confidence. We need to be unstoppable, unmovable, right? Instead of being influenced by other people, we need to become this mountain it's not movable. We're not changing our minds again. We're making a decision and we're sticking to it. We're devoting to it. And then we also have this rebirth. So you guys are going through this rebirth in December. We are realizing what we want, and we are emerging as our true selves, okay? And I think because we have this spring equinox, I really think that this decision is going to carry us all the way until March. And so I think we're activating it. We're finally activating and realizing this new thing in December, but we're finally moving forward with it, maybe closer to the spring equinox, which is in March. The next two cards that we have over here, we have a deep breath. Ooh, guys, we're breathing in that new energy. Wow, this totally looks like we're breathing in that new energy. We're creating our own Zen. What do we feel Zen by? We have smoke and mirrors. This talks about that confusing energy that we have at first, right? Smoke and mirrors. When we're trying to see the clear image, sometimes there's other thoughts, other things that get in the way that make the image seem distorted, that make us feel like I'm unsure, I'm not clear on it. But we're finally getting clear when we take in that deep breath. We're removing that smoke that's in front of our eyes. We're taking it in to see it, to observe it, to feel it, and realizing that that was just smoke that was in the way. That wasn't even a physical obstacle. That wasn't even like a physical restraint. That was just smoke in front of my clear image. That was just some fog. Okay, so moving on, I'm going to shuffle this deck of cards right here. We're going to try to get one card out of here and then two cards out of another deck to get some more information for you guys on this reading. So let's see what comes up for you guys. Pile number 2 for December. All right, so December, we have the Llama, soul growth. Growth is never easy. Have faith and trust in the journey. All right, so we're realizing that maybe the path isn't easy. Maybe we've been looking and hoping for an easy way out. Maybe the reason why we're confused about it is because we know that it's hard to make this decision. We know it's a hard decision, but I think internally, you guys really know what you want, but externally, you know that it's not an easy route. It's not an easy road. And so growth is never easy. Have faith and trust in the journey. So call on that Llama spirit, baby, to help you out. And now we're going to shuffle this deck right here. We're going to try to get 2 cards from this one. This one is all about some good, positive affirmations for you guys for the month of December. So let's see what comes up over here. All right, this card's really wanting to come out. This one came up for our first pile as well. Obstacles and detours. Obstacles are detours in the right direction. So don't worry about the fact that there's obstacles in front of you, because those are just detours in the right direction, right? Sometimes they're doing construction on a road and we need to take a detour. We're still getting to our destination, but it's a little bit of a detour because we're needing to go on a different route. We're needing to see different environments, do different things, because the universe knows exactly how to get us from point A to point B. But sometimes the easiest route doesn't teach us what we need to know. Sometimes we need to go on that detour because all of a sudden we're going to see some shiny new store on the side of the road that we get inspired by, that we walk into and we're like, oh my God, I'm so glad I took this detour. Otherwise I would have never known that this store was right here that gave me more supplies that I needed, that I've been looking for this whole time. And if I just took the easy route of A to B, I would have never discovered this. So obstacles are divine from the universe that lead you in the right direction for you, because your path is going to be different from everyone else's, baby, because you're unique and you have unique gifts and you need unique experiences along the way, right? So let's try to get one more from this pile right here for you guys for the month of December. Some information, some affirmations that we need to know for December. And we have this card right here. So we have, I create mindful moments throughout the day, reminding myself that I am love and miracles are natural. And guess what, baby? We were just talking about how those detours are mini miracles. So allow them to be there. Yes, at first it's frustrating, but then we see why it happened once we're finally out of that situation. So that is what I'm seeing for you guys. Pile number 2. Hope you guys enjoyed this reading. If you did, don't forget to give it a really big thumbs up for me. Hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye. All right, so pile number 3, my Chrysocolla pile. Let's hop right into your guys' monthly prediction for the month of December of 2020. All right, so pile 3, we have Chrysocolla governing your energy for the month of December. So Chrysocolla is all about speaking. This is about communication, our thoughts, things like that. This is also a good crystal to have around when public speaking or doing anything where we need clarity or we need to speak our authentic truth, things like that. So Chrysocolla is that sort of energy. So the fact that you guys were drawn to it means that we're probably needing a little bit more of this energy into in our lives during the month of December, because maybe we're doing something that requires us to be a little bit more public about our thoughts, to express ourselves, maybe to put our work out there in the public eye, things like that. So this is about, you know, expressing those sorts of things when we have Chrysocolla over here. And then getting into the tarot portion, you guys actually have 6 cards, whereas the rest of the piles, I believe, have only 5. So our first 3 that we have over here for you guys, we have the High Priestess being reversed with the King of Wands with the Lovers being reversed. So this is us doing a big reveal. Whenever we have the High Priestess and it is reversed, this is a reveal of some kind. So maybe you guys have been working on a project in the background that you're finally ready for it to go into the public eye in the month of December. Maybe we're finally becoming ready to have this big reveal. You know, the curtain unveils, the curtain folds back, and we are ready to come out with something, especially when it's next to the King of Wands. This might be something that we've been working on for a while. This is some sort of creative craft that we have going on when it's next to the King of Wands, and so we're finally ready to come out. Or this could also be talking about if you guys aren't working on a project, this can also be us ready to take on the world and ready for us to get over our boundaries of our inner shell. You know, maybe we like to keep ourselves safe and comfortable by just being a little bit more of an introvert, but we're finally kind of ready to be like, I'm just gonna express myself. I'm so tired of like holding myself back. I'm so tired of like, you know, like hiding myself. I'm so tired of doing that. So we're finally like, I'm gonna stop caring what society thinks, because the Lovers being reversed is us realizing that maybe we put a lot of emphasis on what society might think of us, right? And we tend to tone ourselves to, you know, the standards of society. But we're realizing maybe I just want to be authentic now, because, you know, this also deals with us getting out of our introverted self, and it also deals with us having some sort of reveal. So this is a reveal of the self, or even a reveal of something that we've been working on for a while. So keep that in mind with those cards right there. And our next 3 that we have is the Ace of Swords, the the Hermit, and the Sun. So even when the Sun is reversed, it is still just as good as the Sun right side up. The Sun, no matter which direction it's facing in tarot, is still so positive, but it could indicate that we have some certain delays. It could indicate things around that. So just keep that in mind when the Sun is reversed, but it is still such a good card whether it is reversed or not. So getting into what this is, the Ace of Swords. This is a new beginning. This is a new idea. So I think that we're rushing with new ideas in the month of December, but we're kind of realizing that we have to go it alone, because maybe we're so used to and so comfortable having somebody around us that's doing what we're doing. Maybe we're so comfortable asking other people their opinion, but we're realizing that maybe other people might be holding us back because we're doing what other people always think that we're capable of. We're needing always this confirmation, but maybe other people don't see the opportunity that you do. Maybe you want to do something that that regular society says, that's impossible, don't try to do that. But you're like, but I really want to do that. And if we keep listening to society, we're just holding ourselves back. So now we're on this new beginning and we're realizing, okay, maybe I have to go it alone. Maybe I got to do some inner work, some inner research on how to do this, how to make this thing happen, because it's something that I haven't done before. Okay, so we're needing to take a little bit of time away from the rest of society. We're realizing we might need to distance ourselves from the regular people that we hang out with, because maybe they bring us down. Maybe they tell us things that are like, that's impossible. You really think that's going to happen? And you're like, okay, I really want to do this thing. So I just need to kind of retreat a little bit and focus on doing it. And this could also mean that we're realizing that if we're going to do this, we need to put our heart and soul into it. And in order to put our heart and soul into it, maybe we got to say no to hanging out with our friends once in a while, right? Maybe we got to say no to those things, because we're realizing that we're not going to be getting it done if we're constantly always hanging out with our friends and stuff like that, right? And so we're realizing all these things, and even though it's a bit of a damper, even though we're like, okay, I really want to hang out with my friends, but I know I need to stop doing that because I really want to focus on this thing, it's still good no matter what. That's why we have this Sun being reversed, because maybe it's like, okay, yes, I'm sacrificing this thing, but I'm also so happy that I'm doing that it's totally freaking fine. Like, it's Gucci, guys. We're all Gucci in the hood. So that's kind of what I'm seeing over there in the tarot. We're going to add on some more cards into this to get a little bit more information. But yeah, I'm really seeing that this is more of a solo journey, you guys. I'm really seeing that you're kind of realizing that no matter what other people promise you as well, it doesn't mean that they're going to come through and they can't all help you, right? Because sometimes when we're on this new journey and we're like, oh, I'm gonna do this new big thing, sometimes there's people that DM us and they're like, oh, I can get you there. I have the right network connections. I can make that happen for you. And then we're kind of realizing that those sometimes are empty promises, and we're gonna have to do it ourselves, right? We got to do it ourselves. We're no longer asking for help from other people. We're no longer hoping that we get a special aid from other people. Are realizing we got to do it on our own. So then we also have the full moon, energy, peak, harvest, blessings, and achievement. So what you're going to realize, I think we're actually going to reach some sort of achievement in the month of December. Maybe we're finally going to realize, I got to put my work out there. We're finally going to do it. And that's our first achievement. We're taking that first big step, right? And maybe it's even a medium step, because maybe you've been doing this for a while. I don't really know. It's different for all of you because this is a general reading, but we're finally doing it. We're walking in the right direction, right? We're getting those blessings. Then we also have sextile. This is integration, cooperation, tools, skills, integrity, harmony, and empathy. We're finally realizing we got all the tools. We are connecting with our future. This sextile is really reminding me of the word connecting to your future. So I really think that in the month of December, we're finally beginning that path, because the sextile is one of the first, sextile is this, it's sort of powerful. It's building up the momentum. It's kind of like the building up momentum energy, because when you get to a trine, that's a very strong aspect. Sextiles are also strong, but they aren't as strong as a trine, for example. So this sextile is kind of reminding me of we're just kind of unveiling the curtain, and we're just getting started on this new kind of direction that we're going in. And it might not be so powerful yet, but the potential is there, and we're really starting to build that. Okay, so I really think that you guys you're beginning to build. So I think in December, it's we're finally moving, we're finally unveiling this curtain, and I'm really excited for you guys. And then we also have the 7th house. The 7th house deals with our partnerships. And so the fact that we have partnerships coming up, this is interesting. Full moon sextile the house of partnerships. This is ruled by, or wait, this is not the house of partnerships. I don't know why I saw this as a 7. That is literally the 6th. That is the 6th house, guys. What am I talking about? This is not 7, this is 6. This is ruled by Virgo. Okay, so this is where we have to have commitment, okay? So that is so weird. I don't know why I think I read I do and I was just like, oh yeah, that's partnerships, that's Libra. No, we're talking about the 6th house right now. Virgo, Mercury, communication, doing. I do. I'm taking action. So this is all about us taking action. So the month of December is going to be you guys taking action, creating a routine, making your life organized. Also, Virgo, they know so clearly when to say no to hanging out with their friends versus working on their self and their projects. So Virgo knows when to make those boundaries. And I really think that for you guys, the month of December is going to be heavily focused on what you want to create in your life, what you want to do for a living, what you want to do for work, the projects that you want to be working on, what you want your life to look like, the routines that you want to have. So I really think that we're doing routine resets. I think that you guys are going to be changing up your routines and doing things like that. So I really think, and it's funny that I almost saw this as the 7th house at first. That is so... but I think that was also a reason. So I think there's a message in that because we're going from 7th house to 6th house, right? 7th house is partnerships. We're saying no to partnerships and we're moving into our work ethic. We're focusing a little bit more on what we want to create. And it's funny because the 6th house is the house of service to others. And so somehow this is going to be helping others in the long run. We're doing something on our own to bring something valuable to society. So that's what I'm seeing right there. Our next 3 cards that we have over here, we have ancestors, generations. So I think that this is something that's going to last a long time. We're building our future. We're getting our future set up for ourselves. We're doing something that's going to pay off in the long run. It might take a while to get it fully set up, but this is going to pay off in the long run, okay? Then we also have the island of solitude. So yes, we're taking some inner time. Right now is a time of us focusing on what we need to do. And yes, it's going to be a little bit alone. Yes, we got to say no to some friendships. Yes, we got to say no to hanging out with the people that we normally hang out with because we got to focus on our own ish for a little bit. Then we have dawn of new beginnings coming up. So this is so perfect. The fact that we have Ace of Swords and this dawn of new beginnings. So we are on the dawn of a new beginning. We are starting a new road. The light is just shining through the clouds and it's just starting to illuminate. And when we have this idea of something just starting to illuminate, we are just opening the reveal. We don't even see the full big picture yet of where this is leading us. We just see the small glimpse of what we want. We don't even realize that the potential here is so big. If all of these clouds get removed, if we reveal the full idea of it, this whole mountainside will be illuminated. In fact, it'll be beyond the scope of even this full picture. So I really think that your potential is so strong. We are opening something so powerful. It's almost like you guys are opening this portal in December. And I do know astrologically, I think we're going to have the conjunction of, I believe it's Saturn and Jupiter, in the month of December. And so this conjunction is really good for business aspects. So if you guys are starting something businessy in the month of December, that's pretty Gucci, you guys, and I fully support that. So, especially since they're conjuncting in the sign of Capricorn. So yes, Gucci time, my babies. So moving on to the next 2 cards, we have Beyond the Ordinary. So I really think that you guys are doing something that you want it to be original. I feel like you're doing something that you really want to be your own. Beyond the ordinary, you want it to be something magical. I really think we're awakening this magical energy in the month of December, you guys. And then we also have quieting the mind. Okay, so beyond the ordinary, we're bringing in new colors, we're bringing in new ideas. I really think that your mind's going to be on overdrive in the month of December, but in a really good way. It's like we're bringing in so many new energies and we're getting downloads, these new ideas that are coming out of nowhere. I was going to say coming out of butt fuck, but when do I ever say a word like that? I don't know. That's beyond the ordinary for me, literally, and we literally have the card beyond the ordinary, so I mean, no wonder I'm thinking words like that. Okay. Anyway, quieting the mind, guys, taking some time. So quieting the mind is reminding me of this solitude type of energy, so I really think that you guys are going to be connecting with your inner self. we're really going to start connecting with our inner selves, what we really want internally, rather than what our external world is always saying. I think we're going to be spending a lot more time alone in the month of December, but I think it's going to be so needed, okay? All right, so moving on, we're going to shuffle this deck right here. We're going to try to get one card from this deck, and then we're going to get 2 cards from another deck to end off this reading. And so this card right here, this is going to be our animal guidance. So we're going to try to get one animal guidance out of here for you guys to kind of see. And I'm already feeling like this card wants to come out. Ooh! Doesn't this fit in well? So this is the giraffe, and this says the bigger picture, which is so interesting because when I'm talking about this Dawn card back here, that we don't even see the full image yet, this card, wow, it just plays on that energy so well. Take a step back and gather your thoughts and feelings to see the big picture. So we're taking a step back, we're gathering our thoughts and feelings, we're starting something. We are planning something new, okay? We're starting some new routines, we're starting a new project. It's gonna change up our lives. It really has the potential to be something big, okay? So we're taking a step back to see the big picture. We're raising our necks. Look at him, he's like raising his neck. So in meditation, we can really actually, take a step back and see the bigger picture through like meditation, which is probably why we have quieting the mind over here, because maybe meditation is going to be something that's pretty powerful for you guys to get some bigger ideas, some bigger picture ideas that allow you to get this like beyond the ordinary sort of experience happening, and so that you guys can get some downloads of like, how do I stick out? How do I find my uniqueness in this new project? So doing things like that are going to really help you out. So take a step back, gather your thoughts and feelings. Let's see the bigger picture here. And then moving on to our last deck, we're going to shuffle this one right here. We're going to try to get 2 cards from this one. These are just like general advice cards that are really powerful, so I shouldn't even call them general. They're so powerful. So let's try to get 2 cards to end us off right here. All right, so we literally had 2 fallout cards. That is perfect. So we have, when I'm in alignment with love of the universe, peace cannot be disrupted. Wow, you guys, we're getting into alignment with what we want, what we desire. Oh, baby. So when I'm in alignment with love of the universe, peace cannot be disrupted. So I think you guys are gonna have a pretty dang good December. I think it's gonna be pretty good. I think that you guys are gonna feel in your own element. And then we have hope is the conduit for miracles. So hoping for the best, wishing for the best, that is the conduit for miracles for you guys. So that is what I'm seeing for you guys. Pile number 3. Hope you guys enjoyed this reading. If you did, don't forget to give it a really big thumbs up for me. Hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye. All right, so pile number 4, my Spessartine Garnet. Let's find out what your December is going to be like for you guys. Let's hop right into it. All right, so pile number 4, our Spessartine Garnet. So this card right here talks about your own light, your ability to shine, your ability to sparkle, your ability to inspire other people. So I really think that this card coming up is, and the fact that you are attracted to this is telling you that now's the time for you guys to really sparkle. Now's the time for you guys to inspire other people. So think about what inspires you and just be that light, be that shine. Allow yourself to just be fully you, be authentic in you, because the more that you are you and you're your own unique light, you inspire other people to do the same, right? And so it is not a bad thing. It is a beautiful thing. It is a good thing, my baby. So that is our first card that we have over here. So let's get into our tarot portion of this video. So let's add on some tarot cards to this. So our first 2 that we have over here, we have the 3 of Wands being reversed next to the Star. And so when we have these cards, let me just place these properly so we can get them on this camera in a good, beautiful way. Okay, so perfect. So talking about this 3 of Wands over here, there might be something that you guys are still stuck on the past about, because when the 3 of Wands is reversed like this, he's focusing more on this stick, which is behind him, rather than on these 2 sticks, which are in front of him, right? So when it's upright, we're taking new opportunities, we're taking new chances, we're moving into the future that we want, right? But when it's upside down, we might be holding on to the past. So there's something that I think that you guys need to let go of in your past in order to kind of move forward in the month of December. There's something that we need to forget about. There's something that we need to let go of. There's something that we need to move past, okay? This also talks about our fear of expansion, our fear of, because like this is such, let's just real talk about this for a second. This is the card about expansion. You can see there's sailboats down here. I know it's kind of weird because the water is yellow in this card, which doesn't really make sense, but I think it's because it's like dawn or like the sunset or something. I don't know. But anyway, this card is all about expansion. And when it's upside down, it can also resemble our fear of moving into the unknown, our fear of expanding. So we like to stay within our comfort zones, right? We like to stick to what's comfortable, even though it's something we might not want anymore. So it's kind of like, you know, it reminds me so much of Sam in The Lord of the Rings, because like when he's walking with Frodo in that field, and then like he stops at that one point and he's like, Frodo, I've never walked beyond this part before. I've never been beyond this. It's such a scary feeling, but you know what? He didn't want the same old. That's why at first he's like kind of like hesitant to go with Frodo, but at the same time he has this kind of desire, like, I want to step out of this comfort zone, but I also kind of like my comfort zone, you know what I mean? So he's kind of like hesitant on both of them, and I really think that this kind of resembles a little bit of you guys right now, because I think that you guys are wanting to expand yourselves, but there's this fear that, you know, we're stepping into the unknown, and when we step into the unknown, it's not familiar, and the unexpected happens, and sometimes we can really fear the unexpected, right? But then the star is reminding us that beauty lies within when we just let go, right? Because the star happens right after the Tower card in tarot, and so the star talks about, you know, December is going to be the month for you guys where we're getting our foot wet into a pond that we've never really stepped into before, okay? So we're stepping into the unknown, we're stepping into the unfamiliar, we're ready to kind of like let go of the past. Maybe you guys are also, because this can resemble that we're finally like maybe wanting to live a bit more of a minimalist life. Maybe we want to get rid of the stuff that we're like hoarding. Maybe we're like really scared of letting go of some things that remind you of your past, right? Maybe we're scared of getting rid of our old clothes. Maybe we're scared of getting rid of our old furniture because we're like, oh, it's sentimental. It's sentimental. But at the same time, we're wanting and craving something new, because every time we see these new things, we're like, oh, you know, I really want to move into that new realm. I really want to maybe be minimal now. Things like that. Maybe you're really wanting to move, but we're scared of moving because what's it going to be like? We haven't lived anywhere else. We haven't been anywhere else. You know, things like this. So I really think that you guys are going to be craving something new in December. And I think that you guys are finally getting ready to let go of some old. I think that you guys are going to do some cleaning out of the closets. I think that you guys are going to be doing some like getting rid of some old stuff that we were once hanging on to. And we're letting it go, guys. We're letting ourselves have that freedom. And then we also have the Two of Swords being reversed. And so this card talks about the fact that we're ready to be vulnerable. So I think that in December for you guys, we're finally going to be vulnerable, because upright, we're blocking off our heart. We are saying, no, we don't want this new. We're scared of the new. But when we reverse it, we remove that blindfold. We remove those swords. We step into the unknown. We stop needing our security, and we step into being able to be vulnerable, right? So this could also be talking about the fact that maybe you're a little bit more shy and we're scared to expose our true feelings. So I think that true feelings are going to be exposed in the month of December. I think that you guys are going to be exposing your true feelings, letting your true light shine, right? So that's why you guys are attracted to this specific stone right here. But this is also like, yeah, stepping into the unknown of like, you know, our surroundings. Maybe letting go of the job that's holding us back from expanding. Maybe letting go of like the home that we're so conditioned to. Maybe letting go of some of the things that we own, our personal items, so that we can finally declutter and minimalize and come back down to our basics, right? That's what the star is, coming back down to the basics. What do I actually want and need? And let's just get rid of everything else. Let's let go of the fear. Like, it's okay that I'm letting go of this job because maybe I have a little bit saved up in my bank and I really just want to take this chance on doing something. Maybe we're letting go of like something else that we were doing, and we're finally ready to step into that unknown. So in December for you guys, this looks like some big change, like holy moly. Then we also have the Queen of Cups upright. So we're asking ourselves, what do I really want? What do my emotions call me towards? What's my intuition telling me to do, right? And so we're finally listening to those things. We're finally asking us, what emotionally fulfills me on the deepest level, and how do I incorporate that into my life? Because it's time. It's time to do that. And then we also have the Nine of Swords reversed. So this is us getting past our anxieties, getting past our worries, because maybe this is something that's kept you up at night. Maybe this is something that's kept you constantly curious and wondering, and it's maybe causing you anxiety to stay in the same state that you've always been in. But now it's finally time for us to let go of that anxiety, let go of those fears, and step into that unknown. Ooh, guys, this is some powerful stuff. Looks like December is going to be a massive shift for you guys. Letting go of old habits, stripping away old things that we were once used to, no longer keeping those same habits and routines and patterns that were kind of maybe a little bit more destructive and not so healthy for us to keep. And now we're finally moving into a more healthy time. So that's definitely what I'm seeing here in our tarot portion. Let's add on some more cards in here. So our next one that we got retrograde coming up. So we're going back into the past. We're reevaluating things. Okay, this is the card of reevaluation. This is the card of taking a step back. So we're taking a step back into, the decisions that we've made. Maybe we've decided to hoard all of these things. Maybe we've made a decision to stay in the same old corporate job. Maybe we've made a decision to keep going to school for something that we don't want to go to school for. Whatever the case may be, we're taking a step back into the past. We're reevaluating our old decisions, and we're trying to make new decisions now. We're waiting for that new inspiration. And then we have lunar. Oh God, you guys, when I read the first sentence on this lunar eclipse, releasing the past, breakthrough, pushing limitations and healing. So we're releasing the past. There's something that you're holding on to that holds on to the past, like I was saying, and we're releasing that stuff. We're doing a whole closet clean out, if that makes sense, right? So in December, I really think we're releasing a lot of those things. We're becoming a little bit more minimal. We're coming back down to the basics of what you guys really, really want and need. Oh, and then we have Capricorn. So this might deal a lot with our career. This might deal a lot with, the direction that we want to go, or our need to always be societally correct. Because Capricorn's ruled by Saturn, which is all about rules, regulations, what we should be doing, what society expects of us. And so this could be facing those certain things and realizing that we should just let go of it, because maybe it's blocking you from being truly happy. Okay, so our next three cards that we have over here, let's get into these babies. We have ceremony, invocation. So we are starting something new. Ceremonies are celebrations, right, of when we start something new. This is like an initiation. I see this as initiation. So December is going to be this month of initiation, because maybe you're going to make a pact to yourself, like 2021 is not going to be like 2020. I'm going to focus on me. I'm going to focus on doing things a little bit differently, because maybe you look at the past and you realize that it wasn't the best decision. And now you're reevaluating, right? And we have the initiation of something new. Then we also have Milky Way of perspective. Oh man, you guys, you're changing your perspectives. You're realizing that, even though it might be scary to walk into something new and be vulnerable, we're realizing that our perspective is changing, and we're realizing that it's so good to release the past, and it feels so good and so healing. So this Milky Way is coming up to confirm that for you guys. Then we also have summer solstice of radiance. We're finally ready to shine our light, baby. And that's also why we have this garnet card. So this is us owning our light. What do you really want to be? What do you really want to show to society? Who do you really want? What really inspires you, right? Things like that. Then moving into the next two cards that we have. Oh my gosh, you guys, we have this card that literally says willing release on it. We're releasing something from our past, you guys. And you're doing it willingly. It's not just falling away. I don't think you guys are coming into a moment where it's like something's being taken away from you. This is you being like, I am so ready to let go of these old things. I'm so ready to move into my new future. Oh my gosh. And then we have higher view. I think you guys are finally opening up to realizing that there's so much more potential in you. And we're finally ready to release the past that's holding us back. Because it's almost like, when you're chained to your past, you can't really fly. You can't really fly. You're limited to the limitations that you've put yourself in the past. but I think you guys are finally ready to move beyond that. Ooh. Okay, so moving on to this deck of cards right here. I'm gonna shuffle this one. We're gonna try to get one of these animal guidance cards to give us a little bit more information over here, and then we're gonna shuffle another deck as well to get 2 more other cards. So let's shuffle this one. Let's get some animal guidance going on for you guys in this pile. So pile number 4, what do we have for you guys? Pile number 4. All right, we have a fallout card. We have the bat. Listen up. You are working through deep soul patterns. Release any outdated beliefs that surface. So any outdated beliefs, beliefs that you can't do it, beliefs that you're not good enough, beliefs that, you know, it's too risky, beliefs that it's impossible. You have what it takes, so listen up. You're working through deep soul patterns. Release any outdated beliefs that surface. Anything that holds you back, my love. Let's release anything that holds you back. So with that being said, you know, we also have a lot of these cards over here that have wings. You know, we have this higher view and we have this bat over here. We have this butterfly, or like, yeah, I think that's a butterfly. That's like flying up over here. So this is kind of telling me that now, like, December is the month of spreading those wings. December is the month of taking that chance and going into it, flying above, realizing that there is more, raising that vibration, realizing that there's so much more potential, rather than living by the constraints or the rules of the past. We're making new rules for our new future. So now I'm gonna shuffle this deck right here. We're gonna try to get 2 cards from this one to get any last information. These are kind of like guidance cards. These are good affirmations, and these are powerful, you guys. So let's see what we get from this deck right here. All right, so our first one is oneness is my true nature. So realizing that you can have and be anything. You are one with whatever it is on this planet. We are all one. We are all connected. You can have and be anything on this planet because we are all literally connected, guys. Okay, so that one right there. And then we also have, when I lean on certainty and faith, I change my mind about the world I see. Ooh, so get this, when you lean on certainty and faith, when you believe that it is certain and that you have faith that you can do it, you change your mind about the world that you see. There's ultimate potential when you change and you lean on certainty and faith. When you realize that it is certain that you can have whatever you want, and you have faith that you can have whatever you want, the world becomes so different, doesn't it? So that is so perfect for you guys in this reading right now. Oh my goodness. So December is all about this big change, us releasing the past, us opening up to this new future, things like that. We're stepping into a new pond, right? So that is what I'm seeing for you guys. Pile number 4. Hope you guys enjoyed this reading. If you did, don't forget to give it a really big thumbs up for me. Hit that subscribe button down below if you have not already. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye. All right, so pile number 5, if you guys chose this pile, the Pneumite, let's find out your month ahead prediction for the month of December. Let's hop right into it. All right, so you guys, my babies, the Pneumite pile. So I really love the crystal Pneumite. Pneumite is very powerful. Pneumite is this beautiful black stone with these gorgeous gold flecks underneath. And so this kind of talks about our personal magic, our personal power that's like just underneath the veil, right? And so this is us, and it can also deal with us not really seeing our personal power, us not really fully grasping our personal magic. So this can happen when we are never satisfied with what we do in this world, the ideas that we come up. We never feel like they're worthy. We always feel this sense of inadequacy. And Pneumite is here to remind us of that magical ability that we have underneath, and the fact that depending on which way we shine it, we see different aspects of ourselves. We see different potentials, okay? So this is reminding you that you have that magic underneath, baby, okay? So you are pure magic. So let's add on these tarot cards that we have. The first ones that we have is the Empress as well as the 8 of Wands. So when we start off with these 2 cards over here, this is us coming up with some new ideas. We're about to birth this new idea, okay? So this coming up with Pneumite is like so powerful because this is probably talking about the fact that maybe you always have these ideas, or maybe you even have an idea currently, but maybe you feel like, oh, well, I couldn't do that. Let's not push it forward. Maybe I always have all these great ideas, but I never do anything about them because they're just like, I never feel like they're good enough, you know? And so if we're getting this sort of feeling around the month of December, I really think that with this Empress coming up, we might be really nurturing this idea that we have, but again, we're not really pushing it forward because the Eight of Wands are reversed. So maybe we're not seeing a way to make this happen. Maybe we're not really fully ever completing a project that we want to do. Maybe we're not ever fully coming or seeing it to fruition. Maybe we stop putting effort in halfway through. And December is this month of kind of like really realizing this, really coming to terms with the fact that we might be doing this all the time. And so this is us realizing that we have this potential. We have all the energy, we have all the fruit, we have all the fruit in the basket to be able to like continue this vision. But it's about us accepting ourselves, us allowing us and ourselves to do this instead of getting down on ourselves, instead of always beating ourselves up for every little thing that we do because maybe it's not like a master level yet. This is us reaching our mastery, right? But we're maybe feeling inadequate because we're like, no, I'm not a master yet, therefore I shouldn't do it. It's like, honey, how old are you? Are you supposed to be a master already? Nah. Like, let's just be happy with where we're at and let's complete these projects because as we continue to do this, we're gonna get better and better. And guess what? Your worth is immeasurable even right now. And you have what it takes, okay? And then we also have this Five of Pentacles being reversed. This is about being able to accept yourself. Instead of beating yourself up and keeping yourself out in the cold, let's just accept ourselves. Let's bring ourselves into the house of warmth. Let's just be kind to ourselves for a second. And we'll probably be able to complete one of those projects that can actually like change our lives. It can actually do something amazing for us, right? So the month of December is going to be about kind of realizing this and being okay with where you're currently at. Loving yourself with where you currently are, realizing that we need to nurture ourselves, we need to be kind to ourselves. The Empress comes up to remind ourselves that we need to be nurturing, we need to be kind, we need to mother ourselves along the way. We need to mother our creative ideas as well. We need to give them time and nurture. When you first have a baby, do you expect that baby to be a master guru right out of the womb? No. So don't ever treat your projects that way. Don't ever treat your ideas that way. Don't ever treat yourself that way. We need to mother it. We need to nurture it into its full fruition. We need to continue down the road. We don't just have a baby and we're like, it's not a guru yet, just throw it out. Like, we don't do that, right? So don't treat your projects that way. Don't treat yourself that way. Then we also have the Nine of Wands. This is us taking our time, realizing that, okay, we've done this before, we've done it, we've been here before. Instead of giving up, let's watch it come to fruition. Let's do it. You know, this isn't moving forward, so let's actually start to move it forward instead of just always saying no, because this is the card showing us that we're maybe really, it's easy for us to stop what we're doing. It's easy for us to get down on ourselves and discontinue. Let's see it through. Let's face these problems. Let's face these insecurities that we have, and let's nurture them like a mother and heal them and fix them so that we can finish and complete something. So that we can wear our heart on our sleeve and be like, here's what I created, you guys. Let's not be scared of criticism. Let's not be scared of the feedback that we get. Let's just be vulnerable. Let's put ourselves out there because that's the only way that we are going to become a master. That is the only way we're going to get there. And then we have Queen of Pentacles. This is our reminder that if we continue, if we have that perseverance and we just keep going, we'll get there. We're going to get there, honey. We're totally going to get there. So let's persevere through it. Let's just keep going. Let's just keep doing, right? Queen of Pentacles also reminds us that sometimes it gets mundane and boring. Yes, sometimes along the process, you know, it's not so fun. So sometimes when we're doing a fun project, then we realize all the work that goes into it. We can stop enjoying the process. But if we just dedicate, we realize that if we just persevere, if we just push through, the result of it is going to be so worth it because we're challenging ourselves to do something more. And when we challenge ourselves to do something more, that's when we learn so much. And that's when we have that growth. And then the next time we do something, it gets easier and easier. And then we get easier and easier at making beautiful things come to fruition, right? The next card we have is Trine. Fluency, ease, talent, development, privilege, aptitude, self-comfort, temper, laziness, and intelligence. So we're getting past our laziness, baby. We're increasing our intelligence. We're letting go of our temper, our need for just comfort. We're getting our fluency. We're getting our ease back in there. We're developing those talents, right? We're getting better at what we're doing. And we're saying yes to ourselves instead of saying no. We're allowing this to happen. We are giving ourselves a chance to develop those talents further. Then we have void of course, pause in time, change of plans, limbo, and improvisation. Sometimes we need to improvise, right? So sometimes when we're feeling that void of course, sometimes when we're feeling like empty because we're like, oh, I just gave it my all and now I lost my creativity. Sometimes we need to improvise at that point. That's when we need to change our plans. That's when we need to pause. We need to take some time, right? And yes, we allow that limbo to be there, but then once we do that improvising, we finally realize a solution was there the whole time and we can actually complete these projects. And then we also have Uranus, which is innovation as well, discovery, individuality, and technology. So we're realizing new ideas. Uranus rules like the unexpected. So unexpected things come up. We get unexpected ideas when we improvise and we do something different, right? Sometimes we might not like that idea and sometimes we will like that idea. But either way, we're discovering more. We're discovering deeper things. Either way, we're finding out better ways to complete this sort of like project, right? Either way. So the next couple things that we have over here, we have, oh, okay, my doorbell's ringing. I will get that in a second. All right, I am back. So this iceberg submerged. So we're realizing how we normally just kind of like submerge our desires, how we normally just kind of like suppress it, we put it under the rug, we just say no, and we discontinue. So we're coming to terms with that, and we're realizing where we end up just freezing and how we can get past that. So December is finally getting past these things so that we can continue to move forward when we feel stuck. Then we also have this meadow of vulnerability. So we're coming to terms with where we might feel scared to be vulnerable, or we might be scared to like show off what our ideas are, or what we've been working on. We have to realize that we do need to be vulnerable with our creativity. We need to be open about our creativity. We need to accept what others say about it. We need to not be scared of those things, right? We need to not be scared of ourselves anymore. And then, we have music of harmony. So this is us getting into the harmony, getting into the creativity. Once we let go of always submerging ourselves, once we let go of always being scared of being vulnerable and like hiding, that's when we get into the creativity and the harmony, and that's when we get ideas that we would have never thought of before, right? This is where we start to get out of our own way, because right now you guys are standing in your own way because maybe you don't have the perseverance to do it, but the perseverance is going to bring you to where you need to go and where you need to be. So the next two cards, we have a Merry Motive, which is so perfect for coming up in December because it's like Merry Christmas, you guys. And then we also have Exposed and Revealed. Oh my goodness. So you know what? I want to start off with this one right here. I just want to start off with this one. Exposed and Revealed. This is about us opening up and being vulnerable. Being vulnerable with who we are, with our creativity, with what we really desire and who we want to be, letting our magic shine, because sometimes we're just so used to hiding it because we're like, it's not even good enough. No, baby, it's good enough. Trust me, it is good enough. That is divine from the universe, and it is time to expose, reveal, be vulnerable, and take the criticism for what it is. But if you define, you know what? Nobody is scared of criticism if they know themselves better than anyone else. Because nobody else actually knows you good enough, only you can know yourself. Once you define yourself for you and you start to define who you are, it doesn't matter what anyone else says because you've already defined you. Therefore, their truth cannot be true if you already have defined yourself for you. Their opinion don't matter at that point, right? So it's time to expose and reveal, allow yourself to be vulnerable, but get to know yourself first, right? Because once you know yourself, it doesn't matter what anybody else says because they don't know you as good as you know you. Therefore, it don't even matter when you hear those things, right? It's almost like, knowing in your heart and soul that an orange is orange. And then even if somebody comes along and they're like, nah, that's purple, you're gonna be like, it's literally not. It's literally orange. And I don't even need to prove it to you because I know that truth for myself, right? And so then we also have this one right here, a Merry Motive. So getting motivation and inspiration from nowhere. Like you can see this beautiful, like magical forest, right? And it looks like she's like, this is like almost like a witch's brew happening over here in the middle of this like magical forest, and there's just magic hanging from the walls, right? They're just hanging on the clotheslines. So Magic is available to you. This is almost telling me that magic is available to you and it's surrounding you. It's just up to you to take it. But we need vulnerability in order to take it, right? Because we need to accept that we are worthy of this. You're totally worthy of this. It's surrounding you. You are this. Take your own magic. Your magic is there. It's in the Numite. It's literally in the Numite card, you guys. So our magic is there waiting for us. Then I'm going to move into this deck right here. We're going to try to get one of these animal guidance cards to get any last information. Then we're also going to shuffle another deck to get some affirmations going on. So let me shuffle this one. We're going to get one card from here to get some animal guidance. Let's see what comes up. All right, immediately we have Dolphin coming up. So this is Atlantis. Healing wisdom is surfacing. Stop and listen. So you guys might be connected to ancient Atlantis. This is where like magicians were. This is where the alchemists were. This is where all the magic was, right? And so this is us reconnecting with our own inner magic, our own inner Atlantis that might feel a little bit like run down right now because it's a little bit submerged. Literally, Atlantis is submerged. Your own magic might be submerged right now because you aren't allowing yourself to see that true light, right? So this is Atlantis. Healing wisdom is resurfacing. We need to surface our magic. So stop, listen, allow yourself to feel that, okay? I'm going to put this card right here, and then we're going to shuffle this deck right here to get any more last affirmations going on. So let's see what comes up for you guys here. All right, my loves, we have in any moment I can surrender to the powerful presence of love through prayer, contemplation, and stillness. So let's connect more with love because from love, that is ultimate creativity, right? So allow yourself the stillness to connect with that. And then we have my outer experiences are a reflection of my internal condition. So accept yourself internally, and this is where you can awaken your magic because your outer experiences to experience magic or to even be creative in this world. We need, our creativity is a reflection and a manifestation, a physical manifestation of our inner state and our inner condition. So allow yourself to accept yourself internally. Feel your own magic. Feel your own power, baby. And that is going to allow you to feel it and express it externally. So that is what I'm seeing for you guys for the month of December, pile number 5. Hope you guys enjoyed this reading. If you did, don't forget to give it a really big thumbs up for me. Hit that subscribe button down below if you have not already. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.